mooy gis-gis waxtaane si li nga xam ne rek mooy yóbbu dëkk bi kanam.
The Constitution provides President can declare a state of emergency in two circumstances. Now I believe Gambia security is at risk for invasion. He has a right. Constitutional as it can last for 2 weeks.
yéen ñëpp gis ngeen ne dañu oote ne nañ ànd soppi nguur gi fi nekkoon loolu pexe la parti yi bokkuñu xalaat bokkuñu jubluwaay lii pexe la rek pour génnee ngu réew ci loxo benn nit te jubluwaay bi mooy won ne fexe nag nit ñi moom réew mi ne nañu ànd ci xel ñu tabaxaat réew mi.
Tegabimo, you want to be humble and everything. Why you are not an ordinary minister in this cabinet? That's true. Because you are head of the UDP, you are like a father figure to most of the... It's the fact. Whether mom accept or not, so the point is, because of that prominence bigger the baro def la de consult or legi yow ya de yobu ay nit ci baro pour mu appoint le lolu moy lacté ndax li mo am
président Adama dafa am mandate da ko Gambians choose ne na liggéey réew mi mu tànn ay nit ñu liggéey ak moom man ci ñooñ la bokka ma ngi liggéey ak moom
ngadi ko ande mela ay mul ay tiñarol minke Gambia jang mul ka wole tan ka foko APRC fananda do tiñaro tole alle mu stade le so ka APRC ta kala image de da kotenge isaje fu Gambenol kotenge si la pati ñina kotenge
no yalon say you are putting me in a funny position mul ka fo do kam de ni fa de ko bita jahannam ni kala ko kala
ñu ngi leen di dalal ci gis-gis yi tey bi tey nag dañ ñëw waxtaanee li nga xam ne mooy kaaraange réew mi if I'm correct moo tax tey ñu ñëw waaye nag last week gisu leen ñu because dañ jëloon break ñu demoon pour it bi léegi ñëw nañ back pour indi leen gis-gis boo leen yàgga di xaar and then from now on dinañ start di am of course leaders yoo xam ne ñu ngi jógee ci political parties yu nekk Gambia pour gars yi ñëw fii maanaam waxtaan seen policies and seen programmes and activities yoo xam ne yooyu la gars yi nekk di def right now I believe ne starting from next month la ñoo start di am leaders yooyu noonu ba den tey ñu ngi am ki nga xam ne mooy Samsidine Sarr moom mu doon liggéey ci government Gambia of course 2015 moom moo nekkoon deputy ambassador of the Gambia mu nekkoon fi nga xam ne mooy UN mu doon work with Tangara as bossam tey mu ñëw fii because liggéey na serve na ci army bi am idea a lot about security sector bi and then Gambia government bi and all of that and they write a lot of articles tamit ci wàllum kaaraange moo tax tey ñu indi ko fii pour mu waxtaan ak ñun ñu seet yan problème la nit ñi nekk di jànkoonte right now because we know very well ne léegi nit ñi duñ leen nelaw bu baax because of ñu ngi gis ñee ngi rey nit yi si yoon bi bëccëg nit ñaa ngi kar nit ñi di jël seen xaalis and all of that so problems yooyu moo tax ba tey ñu ñëw pour waxtaanee lii ma la seen xarit Ansu Jack on my right side maa ngi am Essa Njie as a panelist of course Lamine Njie ak tamit nee na Freda Gomez ak tamit Doudou Dia maa ngi am tamit Basamba Dramé and then Samsidine Sarr mooy suñu guest bi Samsidine oncle ñu ngi laa dalal bu baax ñu ngi laa dalal ci gis-gis bi.
Thank you very much ci ngeen ma invite kontaan naa trop.
Mike bi start again.
waaw maa ngi kontaan trop ci li ngeen ma invite the last time tryoon ngeen ma invite ma waaye possible toon because dama amoon yi ma doon def. waaye bi nga ma koolee this time ma ne well dinaa try lu ma mën a def ma ñëw bokka si tey di leen déglu nag yéen itam sécurité ñëpp a ci war a bokka so dina xam naa ne gis naa fi ay politicians yoo xam ne ñu ngi jógee ci different parties ñoom it xam naa am nañ seen own idea waaye man it am naa xëj na li ma leen mën a share tey based on my experience ne liggéey naa ci Jawara régime bi Jammeh régime bi and maa ngi fekkee Adama Barrow regime bi so mun naa make some comparisons and at least share what I think ne it could be done to improve the conditions in the country.
Exactly. Oncle ñu ngi laa daa jaajëfetal ñu ngi laa dalal ci programme bi bu baax léegi dinaa start ak yow first balaa maa ñëw si suma panelist yi mooy ne right now ñu ngi gis ne of course gars yi dañu about security sector reform bi depuis 2017 gars yi ko put in place di xool naka la ko gars yi di ko expand ak yooyu noonu and then ñu ngi gis there are a lot of damages yoo xam ne yu am ba pare depuis jamono Yahya Jammeh until now and then nit ñaa ngi wax ne sax léegi affaire yi dafa gën a yokku ñi ngi wax ne because nguuri Barrow maanaam xam nga naka laa ko waxee ci olof waaye jàppuñ security sector bi ak security réew mi loo xam ne lu important la gis nañ Yahya Jammeh mu doon bàyyi dëkk bi mu doon wax how to call it Adama Barrow na bàyyi xel ci fànn boobu ne loolu is very important and now we seen ne affaire baa ngi increase nit ñaa ngi dee te gisuñ a lot of government bi muy génn dañu woon lu leer oo taxawaay yu gaay bugg a jël pour make sure ñu mitigate problème bi sa gis-gis on this.
waaw waaw dëgg la nag.
ongul mic bi tuuti rek.
ok dama waaw right sorry. waaw li ma wax mooy ne nit ñi am nañ concerns which are very legitimate ne dëkk bi niñ ko gisee mooy ne ñu ngi gis problème boo xam ne instead of mu improve liñ expectoon improve on because ñëpp dañ foogoon ne system of government biñ fi amoon by Jammeh you know daf ñu put on in the worst conditions of security you know and that you know security sector reform dañ ko require pour ñu realize a better more acceptable condition. Not everybody says so. Why the few who were die-hard opponents of the regime ben tey ñu ngi propagate that kind of concept ne dëkk bi ni ko Jammeh doon rone in terms of security was bad and that moo in waral the security sector reform initiative waaye soo ne da ngaa def security sector reform initiative to improve what was here nga take almost 4 years instead of mu improve mu deteriorate then something is not done right then you are look at a different approach you know and man nag ni ma ko gisee rek mooy ne nguur gu nekk face nga lii especially at some critical transition period after 1981 you know we had a similar situation like this when the Senegalese came in and obliterated what we had as the foundation of our security forces, including the field force. Field force was the armed wing of the government attached to the police. But then when the Senegalese came in 1981, they destroyed it because the rebellion started there and rendered the police literally useless. They lost all their courage, their confidence, and people look at them as just liabilities more than assets to the community. So Senegal was given the responsibility to take care of the security. And when things started degenerating, they instituted the gendarmerie, tailored to look like the French system of gendarmerie, armed police, trained like combatants. And those were the people who tranquilized the chaos after 1981. And that, if you remember, if you hear about, at some point even, the gendarmerie was so powerful over the police that people would rather go to the police, sorry, the gendarmerie than go to the police, and there was bitter rivalry. But they stabilized the situation. And we maintained it like that until 1989, when the Senegalese unilaterally and simultaneously withdrew all their presence in this country in terms of security and left it to the hands of the Gambia government, or the Gambia. The security they left was transformed into the PIU, the TSG, the Tactical Support Group, which was basically the gendarmerie transformed into that. There was some element of instability, but the country was stabilized until 1994, when the AFPRC took over. Soon after that, this same crisis happened again. Insecurity that threatened the stability of the country. I could remember, if you guys could recall, there was even armed robbery using AK-47 to rob a Lebanese and took his safe. And that was the climax of the tolerance of the government. When I remember, Jammeh called us at his office and said he was going to fire all top police officers because they couldn't handle the security anymore. Then we dawned on him that what he wanted to appoint one military officer to become IGP was unrealistic because police and army duties are different. You got to get police knowledge to command the police. So we agreed to the fact that because of the coup, the soldiers had taken over police roles. Crimes were reported and you find soldiers there, you know, and they said, look, we have to restore that confidence to the police, and to do that, we embark on a 2-month mission of working with the police on a very robust security patrol from and coordinated from a command base composed of the NIA, the police, and the army. And for 2 months, we were running all the streets at night.
Okay.
You know, going into checkpoints, you know, and random stoppage of vehicles, establishing who is going around at night. And we had arrested so many people running vehicles that had no papers, the drivers no license, and criminals being carried around by taxi drivers. After 2 months, the police did not only have confidence to go back, but literally we cleaned the streets of all rogue drivers running around doing bad stuff. We come back to this. I am not saying that we can use the same methods used in 1981. Neither can we use the same method used after 1994. But I believe a good security force with security heads can come together and tailor out something that suits the current moment, different from the two, but probably using both tactics and creating our own. This is what I think we need. I don't know why, but all the so-called security sector reform should have focused on this, because security sector reform is based on the threat of a nation. You can't just say, what are we reforming the country for? Nobody can tell us. ECOMIC is here, 1,000 troops. For what? Are we facing an existential threat from the external forces? I don't think so. If they cannot contribute in our internal security, they are as useless as toilet paper. So apparently, I think, I hope I have said enough.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I will come back to you, but then let me just shift to Ansu Jack. Ansu Jack, say Giss Giss on the current situation.
Well, Jerejef Ansu, I think what I'm not solo torop, because almost everybody is talking about security or insecurity, should I say, in the Gambia at present. Uncle Samsidin, I think, has provided a very brilliant analysis from the Jawara era coming to the Jammeh era to the present situation. Especially looking at security sector reform. Because for me, Fofula Buga Wahedal in that context. Because all these problems we're talking about, at some point, we are in a transition, and we expect, as he said, for things to improve rather than deteriorate, because we are talking about security sector reform. Now, Gambia is not the first country to experience security sector reform. Okay, Gambia never the first country. I think I'm carried away by the English. Gambia never the only country being okay more experienced security sector reform. A lot of other countries, they went through civil war, for instance. They go through post-civil war or post-conflict security sector reform. Other countries, they went through dictatorship, like Guinea, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya. They experienced post-dictatorship security sector reform. And of course, that is the case of the Gambia. Why Nyun, I think the fundamental or the big problem that we have with all this security sector reform is that we have a government that does not either know how and where to start, or that is totally confused about this entire security sector reform project. Now, we have a series of challenges. And of course, so if you look at the draft assessment report of the Gambia security sector reform, there was a draft assessment report that was prepared, and it was based on consultation in communities and all that. When this was published, you realize that if you read that document, you will realize that a lot of people in the communities, in fact, express their dissatisfaction and lack of confidence in the police or in the security sector. And if you go to last time, you Amon Bena program, I think it was a branch, where I said, look, if you look at the draft assessment report, clearly state NACO, and I don't know what the government is doing about that, that the police and other security institutions are telling you that, in fact, they lack the equipments and materials to carry out their functions, their duties, which is still there. It's persistent, and we all know it's there, but I don't know what the government is doing about that. There's a whole crime rate, for instance, looking at one of the challenges of Gambia security sector reform, because I wrote a dissertation on Gambia security sector reform, looking at the challenges and prospects. One of the challenges that we have is the persistent rate in crime rate. Okay, or the persistence in crime rate. So, 2015-2016, according to the draft assessment report, 2015-2016, we had only 2 murder cases. Can you imagine? 2017, the cases rose up to 8.
Okay.
2018, April, 2018, May, we had from 2 to 3. cases of murders. And we had other, crimes such as, illicit usage of illicit drugs, small arms and ammunitions. I mean, a lot of other crimes. It means like it has been increasing since then. So what is the government doing about that when it comes to security sector reform? Sometimes dama di dégg nit ñi di wax ne security sector reform bi kañ la moo jee. And I ask myself, kan moo la wax ne security sector reform def dee jee? Security sector reform, soo ko xoolee from scholarly explanations, and even according to the African Union policy framework on security sector reform, it tells you that it is about framing and reorienting the security sector of a country to, kind of address the security needs of the people. Understand? And also the justice needs of the people. Just to make sure that the security sector is professionalized, subjected to democratic control and civilian management and accountability, and also to promote efficiency and effectiveness in the security sector. Okay. Where Sokohole Gambia right now, I think one of the challenges to Gambia's security sector reform more the lack of public confidence in the security sector reform itself. And people keep asking this question, in security sector reform, where is it taking us? Because every day we're having, murder cases. Sometimes somebody is coming after you, here and there. But then mandama fogne hegna. Those who started this whole process have not probably done the right study. In terms of other countries then experience security sector reform, the challenges you tamid. Whether they have done a study, conducted a study, whether a continental study or a sub-regional study to look at some of these things, that has been lacking. And it's really a big problem. At the moment, everybody is confused. Asking yourself, where are we heading to as a country when it comes to security? Lolo Fogna is a very, very big problem.
After 2016, my pulse conflict setting which I'm right now. I don't know whether there is conflict or not, but then Manula is a kind of. But then, yo, nanga gije things because there are people new time jam. Ne more the cases in and then killings and everything. The same thing more on but the thing is police don't gain the report or public, they always say journalists, they were not having access for what gaining information to you on outside because they were not allowed. Nalolu, sa Giss Giss, or not?
I am not sure. I wouldn't say.
Because of now space be no,
I wouldn't say. When it comes to other issues, so many corruption, for instance, whether it was happening as it is happening now, and then people were not reporting it. Lolo munako understand.
So
but I think like murder cases and some of these petty crimes and banditry. I'm not saying they were not happening. Obviously, they were happening.
Yeah, but then
there was nothing like a censor that people right now they have the space or the platform to talk about it. I think these things are happening, and it seems like we all have our problems with the past regime, obviously. But then the situation is not improving. I think rather it is deteriorating. I must express my disappointment in the government because all these crimes means that sometimes even America. I don't always want to use America as a yardstick. I have no problem. But then even America, sometimes crime incident you see the president go there to make statement. At least then you give reassurance to the people. Why with all these problems that we are having? Musinyo Giss Mugena at once to talk about it. It message that talk about security. In fact, for me, I was so disappointed.
Was that the right day?
Because already he talked about he acknowledged that we have problems, internal security issues. Acknowledge no rule. But then, what is the government doing? What steps are you taking? Lolo, the citizens want to hear that. Yes, we have problems. We have internal security issues. Yes. But we want to hear what are you doing about that, especially when it comes to the so-called security sector reform. We don't even know where it is. He talked about right sizing, downsizing. We don't know whether these things are happening.
Okay, Esa, I didn't know you. Legi Lamin Jai, your name society speech, right? Bugmanga gauge things, but then you speech Barobi on Eid Day. As a journalist, do you think that was the right environment and day and everything about security and all of that?
Thank you. I think Giss Giss, President would not use best bune. Like he can use any day, whether Eid Day or any other day. President Munna use the day. Best be mu waxtaan ci lu nekk mu wax ci lu nekk be it security, be it any other issues. What is the most important thing mooy mu nekk loo xam ne mu ngi itteel nit ñi, people are concerned about it, mu ngi nekk loo xam ne nit ñi bugga nañ mu wax ci because moom mooy njiit bi so soo nekkee leader bi problème mu am sa dëkka you can use any day to talk about it the way and manner in which ni nga ko defee mooy beneen wax bi mooy beneen wax bi so I think for him to use the Eid day pour mu wax ci mbiri security because you will see that even those days there will be a lot of petty crimes days like Eid, there will be a lot of kids will go out and then people will attack them. People will rob them. So, I mean, these petty crimes tend to even increase. They know them for some best, you know. So, pumu use the day, mu wax ci security. I think there is nothing wrong with that.
Okay, now during Jammeh's tenure, yangi won neka journalist at Standard.
Yes.
Now yangi fatu network. But then so whole things. Come no malate esa. Do you believe that crime rates in the same thing more on but then journalists were not given the chance and space pour gars wara mëna cover lolu pour nit ñi mëna am access to it or is it ne dega affaire dafa yokku
I think crime has always been there problem bi fum nekka moy statistics data has always been a problem if you go to other countries so demé yenen dekay every year police bi dina gëna ñu wax dëkk bi ne okay we recorded this number of crimes this number of homicides this number of this and that journalists they can always access that journalists yi mën nañoo dem ci ñoom then they can report this nit ñi xam ne okay 2020 this is the number of I mean murder cases you happen and then 2021 lii moo amoon yooyu def day am waaye fii data keeping bi moom is always a problem while time Jammeh up to now crime was happening time Jammeh the crimes were happening you know but then okay when it comes to the will to fight crime time Jammeh da nga gis ne in fact the realities are different you know that was a dictatorship in my opinion and the way the security would fight crime is always different from the way this regime would tend to fight crime. So danga gis ne ñaari dañoo ute because those days people when you do something bad of course when security people get you they will abuse the list that you can get bala ñuy ayas station bi sax they will deal with you dinañ la dóor yooyu yëpp ñu ngi ko fi doon gis people some of us were there ñu ngi report crime ñu ngi ko gis all there are these bulldozers and all when they come to you nga def dara suñ la jàppee they deal with you dinañ abuse sa right bala nga jot bala ñu wax ne sa li nga def yow yaa ko def code bi di daanu sa kaw so yooyu daf doon happen while this time around people are the security forces due process ñu ngi moytu still there are problems waaye ñu ngi moytu the way and manner in which they are doing it is but then at the end of the day when you are to fight crime you have to be firm you have to be resolute and that involves a lot of things lu bari la and then so that is the problem da nga gis ne now tamit leena tamit moo fa nekk in this new dispensation there is a lot of citizen journalism now the rise of the internet ni ñu ngi use internet previously in the Jammeh regime there was internet but it is not as it is now internet bi léegi ku nekk mu ngi dugal things so maybe during the time of Jammeh there was a lot of things happening but there was not that aggressive citizen journalism boo xam ne nit su sàccee dara rek ñu upload ko nit su reyee nit fa la ñu upload maybe of course maybe these things were happening previously waaye kenn du ko mën a xam this nowadays we have the freedom ku nekk is very comfortable to use the internet to use Facebook to upload stuff so we have to look at those two things when Jammeh was here, are we doing it the way we are doing it now? Every monkey can just get up and move post dara. Dara hew rek mu nataal ko dugal ko. That was not happening. That was not happening. Journalists, they have to scramble to get there and then they report these things. And online journalism those days wasn't that active. You know, newspapers, some of us were relying on newspapers. How many people were reading newspapers those days? Very good. Just a fraction of the population. The young people, they don't read internet. They don't read newspapers. You know? So now, change the rise of the online media. Everything is online. So, why the other thing has to do with statistics. The police are not telling us. They are not giving us the data. Like previous year, nyata murder cases more you compare this year the number of cases you so that is the only way that you can
even if they're doing that
compare
exactly
so lolu dinga mëna xamné okay the last year 50 murder cases this year 100 so automatically data bo would nala mëna guide nala mëna jox dan idea as to okay crime dem na ci kaw wala crime dem na ci
nene sa gis-gis noy géjé the two previous government and the current one of how nu ñoo handle security dëkk bi maanaam kaaraange dëkk bi.
jërëjëf Ansu ma ngi jaajëfal ñi ñoo seetaan rek di jaajëfal suma naataango yu fi toog. I just want to say, Lamin, are you the bigger monkey among the monkeys that we're sending everything? Or who would you say is the bigger monkey here? Because every monkey will just get up and post something.
Yeah, okay.
So you're part of the monkeys. But again, I'm getting amazed by this kumbaya moment of Lamin Jai and then, the national property in my pocket, the NPP.
What's
it's
that?
National property in my pocket, yeah. But anyway.
Lamin Jai, independent.
They are in the other side, opposition. So it's always difficult.
Oh, no, don't call me opposition. I don't like that word. I'm an alternative. I prefer solutions. I
Okay,
don't
then
want
sa
to
gis-gis.
Exactly. So, man suma gis-gis mooy ne, fii dëgg la time Yaya Jammeh, the killings and all these things were not happening by nit ñi seen bopp, understand nga?
Okay.
Because right now we can see the revelations from the TRRC, it was, within the security here and there, back and forth. Dëgg la killings of that and maybe nit a nit here nga jam kii and things like that mu ngi xew. While lately we see like people themselves, taking things into their own hands and killing. And fii kuñ fi rey sa mbokk di nga jóg nga wax ko. So Lamin Jai saying that it was comme ne internet la ñàkk internet people saying it and not saying it, and I don't think it's all of that. So problem acknowledging the problem we cannot come up with solutions, and that's what we need to acknowledge. We are at a time boo xam ne nekkuñ fa woon, and it's concerning, it's alarming, it's scary to everybody's skin. So we need to acknowledge that and start to think about solution. But if we're sitting here making excuses of why it's happening or thinking, oh, it used to happen, so there is nothing different. For God's sake, there is something different. We need to acknowledge it. And I mean, we have a poor leadership who really does not care about the security of the people. Because gis nañ mu ngi wax Eid message bi. I mean, dëgg la Eid la. Yaa ngi or weeri koor. What is Eid? About sacrifice, about giving, alms giving, charity, caring and loving, you understand? And praying, the bigger one, okay? After that, you come, you're the father of everybody, not the father of only the people that love you or support you. You're everybody's father. You're the Gambian president. You come and face the nation and say, you know what? After we've fasted, after we've prayed, you understand? Let's continue with that love, with that cleansed heart and unify. Some kind of unifying message. That's what I expected. But then that message was not unifying at any point, because all it was doing is trying to what we say wolof bi comme jay boppam. I mean, what has Eid message got to do with roads la def? I think of course. Hey, remember, man, I left my job to campaign for Barrow. Barrow was my darling at one point in time. You understand? And of course, what do you mean the wrong reason? And what is the reason?
Why are you not with him now?
Well, because he's not with us. Because Barrow is not with us right now. That's why I am not with him.
For the wrong reasons. Okay. You know why I said that?
For
the wrong reasons.
Okay, just hold the thought there. Hold the thought. When I land, you can come. No, hold the thought. When I land, you can come. Thank you, Basam.
Go ahead.
Understand? I do. So I'm going to later with more than a problem. When people talk, they say, okay, danga bang nitki. What for God's sake have I got to bang Barrow? Barrow don't pay my salary. Barrow don't give me food on my table. Barrow don't pay my child school fees. You understand? Honestly, I can sit and say, for all I care. You know what I mean? But then, for the sake of Gambian, man, I can take care of myself. But what about the vulnerable people that deserve that from him and he's not doing it? You understand? And that's why I'm speaking up. But for me, man muna talk, man suma nganya chili hell because affect me. Why Gambia la nek understand? Man munuma wane okay na teki ma jegen okay wul. Munuma wane teki na teki ma jegen teki wul. Munta neka. Lolo ben citizen bu anda helam munta pukaro lolo or wako. You understand? So that's the thing. Man, my opinion is the country is not safe. Fum kuneka ni soy doh yange hol sa gana. Understand? Ko wahal the next thing orut til sa bag bi til anaka tejal sa moto bi. You understand? Kuneka nge expensive expenditure, installing cameras, getting watchmen. It's not supposed to be. If you don't need it, you didn't have to do it. But now people are doing it, and people's salaries are increasing. That is not on me. fi safe rek mooy Barrow ak famille ñoo fi safe because at least ñoom pokora na ko am na external forces ñu ko safe waaye mën a yow toog fi ni safe wuñ you understand because every day ñu ngi gis loo xam ne doy na waa te ragal lu nañu man right now man du ma génn ak suma moto after ay 9 o'clock yooyu because when I come I have to open a gate or whatever tëj and dugg na fële génn na fële xam nga I don't do that so why would you sit and think it's okay it's not okay that's the and we need to acknowledge it whether people think I say things about Barrow or when he does something good I will say it but when he does something I will say it like 12 months in a year I will continue to say dude you failed and you continue to fail you can do better
okay now then you also Doudou Dia so opinion on this previous government and now nanga gëjë things
jërëjëf Ansu may dalal Sam Sarr nga xam ne mooy suñ gan tey
of course
di nuyu suma naataango yi na lu bari lu ma bëggoon a wax ñoom wax nañ ko yaakaar naa liñ wax suma ko bamtoo loolu definitely ñuy seetaan dina nekk lu boorin ci ñoom ma dugga rek ci beneen fànn yaakaar naa li fi newoon soo ko buggee xayma compare ko ak li fi nekk tey benn ci leadership bi Jammeh was security oriented serviceman la xam na li doxal security ak li fa nekk lu bari du xaar nga wax ko dafa jóg def ko comparison la ici unlike Barrow jaarul si security xamul ji fi security lim am mooy mu no we are not talking about security guard
okay go ahead
issue bi fii mooy lan la nit ki xam si security du yi fi civilian képp ku xam security da xam ne du yi fi civilian it deals with intelligence comme xel moo ko doxal xam-xam moo ko doxal nga ñëw teg ci mun mooy li nekk ci xel bi ak xam-xam bi noo ko practicaliser loolu la ñoo jël wax ko security xam naa ko te practically nekkuloo ci doo ko mën a implement pare nga pour def ko practically amuloo di idea xam-xam bi nekku fa tam doo ko mën a doxal soo ñaari dafa am solo waaye unlike Barrow tey dafa am ay advisors man balaa di nga bilem Barrow at some point waaye those advisors lan mooy seen liggéey ak lan lañ nekk di def because ñu ngi leen a gis si media bi ñoom ñu ngi génn di defend yi fi security sector reform bi wax nañ ko security sector reform mooy lan na fii ne warut a jeex déedéet dafa war a jeex security sector reform man soo ma laajee lu waroon a jeex la bu yàgga and yi fi economic is a factor loo xam ne contribute na to this crime rate wax nañ ko fii ñoom dañ fi nekk pour président bi ak ñoñam waaye ñun Gambien bi économique ñëwuñ pour ñu secure ñu ñun suñ internal security li fi nekkoon previous régime bi lim fi sampa li ëppa doole soldaar yi ñoo koo réglé ñu bari dañ laa ne suñ constitution tey li fa nekk mooy soldaar yi pour defend dëkk bi la ak dem outside ma ne constitution bi du Quran du Bible lu bari liy doxal réew ak li ko njëriñ xalaat daf ko mën a isi nga use loolu pour nga mun koo doxal kenn réewut ne mbir fii surtout si soldats yi soxluñ ngànnaay pour régler fi sécurité ñu bari ak loxo neen dañ koo régler Gambien bi fu mu gis soldat bi dina jéem a put boppam into place ñeneen ñi soo tuddee soldat nag fi ñu ko jaar mooy dañoo brutalise nit ñi dañ dee harass nit ñi dañ leen dee rey man gisuma loolu they are one of the most disciplined forces in this sub-region li ma xam la soldat su la gisee sa nga start ragal beneen approach la dee jël na nga def ana ataaya bi ana reer bi man dama ko gis I have been a lecturer for 7 years one of my students was a soldier benn day dafa ñëw in full uniform mu ne ma Mr. Dia sorry de tey dama moon mission bu ma doon daw aw ma di chance pour ma dem simeeku ma ñëw ma ne ko no it's not a problem mu ne ma it is a problem the uniform is very terrifying you know with all that fi ma jaar ak moom su ma gisee tey ci mbedda bi sax daf dee wàcca mu ñëw ci man ma ne ko no I think man I should be the one to give you that respect mu ne ma déedéet because dafa am li nga def ci man so I still have that honor so deal am na students yu bari ñoo xam ne ay soldiers yu leen woon so I've seen the discipline instilled in them waxuma ñëpp ci ñoom dañ baax waaye fi ma waxee mooy ñun dañ feel ne our soldiers dañ leen war a confine to the barracks te police yi wax nañ ko fi amuñ enough equipment even the training inclusive fii li tax ñi sampa fi police li ci ëppa mooy is to deal with community when it comes to crime xuloo moo am xeex ngeen dem police ñu bind statement nañ dem ci kër bi ñu oo ko ñu arrest ko su leen coogee ñu puus leen la dem go to court and PIU luñ isi mooy you know pour ñoom intervention unit la man dama feel ne we need a prevention unit before nga xaar crime am nga intervene what do you do to prevent the crime itself I've been advocating for that man ko wax lu bari lu tax police yi duñ leen jox what they need moo xam rider la moto ñuy dugga ci society bi man koo xaw a gis fan yi ak seen rider yi ñu ngay dem certain places ñu ngi fa position seen boppa ma ne tey ñaari nit suñ bëggoon a xeex ñu create problème gis police seen boor dinañ ko bàyyi but their presence is not felt only traffic officers ñoom lu ñoo seet ku am driver's license ku am insurance so that is not taking care of the problem of crime crimes pour luy tax mu wàññeeku so dañ ko war a blend and soldat yi ñu bugga ko ñu bañ ko they have a big role to play in stabilizing our security because police bi tey ban weapon la am loxo neen nga bugga ko yóbbu in these communities at guddi lu moo contrôle ku génn ak jaasi daf ko fa xaar dafa dem yoonam léegi-léegi para yi ñu bari ñu ci amee fetel most of them bal nekku fa su tàngee ba tànga gis nañ ko ñu dem faaraatoo ñu ritee leen jam leen xeer ñu daw egg ci pick-up bi ne siw ñu dem seen yoon so when are they going to regulate crime mob justice suñ fee gis ak lu bari riot yi police station bi lañ dem lakka lu tax loxo neen lañ fa toogee kan si ñoom moo dem mu taal fi barracks because barracks bi li fa nekk dafa am weapon if you want to nga attaque leen bugga leen a rey they will defend themselves te maa ngi laa wax ne suñ ko defoon si police station si kenn du fi mer bene dafa dem taal police station so we need to look at these issues buñ laahu behind security sector reform the situation is deteriorating where are the security advisors to the president where is the CDS the IGP ñoom ñëpp they have a responsibility they have a role to play to make sure ne Gambians are safe it's not fair lu nekk ñu ne President Barrow is he going round no there are people appointed responsibilities pour ñu def ko pour man if they don't do it génne leen nga isi ñeneen as simple as
Basamba sa gis-gis on this and then ñu move si Uncle Samsidine Sarr ñu continue
jërëjëf waa Ansu Jack maa ngi nuyu suñ followers yi ñu ñoo seet léegi nii man mbir bi ñetti affaire la suñ security officers yi wala liggéey bi is not enticing enough pare amuñ the right equipments ci liggéey bi amuñ the right equipments ci liggéey bi liggéey bi dafa métti waa lu ñoo liggéey amuñ ko dañ war a seet su ñoo ne reform ci security bi lan la ñoo reform the first factor lu ñoo reform rek dañ leen war a equip loolu is the main thing te loolu moo amut comme Nduudu num ko conclude and then the job is not good enough. People that are working as security officers or soldiers or officers, look at their paycheck. It's little or nothing. And some of those people are also the one who are not reporting what they should or who are not doing enough in season liggéey bi. So I think liggéey bi dafa des because amuñ equipments yu ñoo jël xaalis di ko dépenser place yoo xam ne amuñ njëriñ. Dañu war a seet yu baax naka la ñoo equip suñ security officers yi ñu make sure suñ demee pour xeex crime they can defend themselves anywhere in the world loolu moo fa nekk loolu is the first thing that we just look at dañ leen war a empower dañ leen war a equip that is one thing second is mooy nit ñi what is our responsibility we are talking about the government we are talking about the police but as citizens where does our responsibility lies are we vigilant enough are we informing the police are we also not carrying criminals in our cars are we not taxi drivers? Are we not the one? Are we not? Some of these taxi drivers, they are not supposed to drive taxis. They have A license. They should have C. They are driving. Some of them, they are the one dropping us. We're the one encouraging police. You live in police. Just 1 week ago, when we had a barbecue at Fatou Kamara's place, my laptop is rare. But taxi driver bi daf ma ut xaw ma ko mu dem Facebook pour ut ma mu wax ko nit ñi man tam wax ko nit ñi mu ut ma mu jox ma suma laptop it's a MacBook Pro waaw moomu ko so we have good people but we also have bad people but who are keeping those people who are harboring those people what is our responsibility in this problem in this issue we don't have a responsibility we always talk about the government responsibility as citizens are we not the one harboring and these criminals in this country and third is that engagement the youths are not engaged at all boy time xale da ngaa jógee school nga dem daara guddi jot na nga dem julli nga tëdd nelaw ngola nga study suñ jógee school léegi 2 o'clock 1 o'clock lu ñoo def they everywhere in Senegal time 2 o'clock 3 o'clock nga dem si bij bi xale yaa ngi fa just from school there is nowhere to engage our young people the only engagement is football field suñ ñoo sampa estate the only first thing we think of is football field how about other life skills in engagement basketball, or music schools. All of these the community centers, young people should be engaged into these things. Go to America, go to England, go to Switzerland, go to Europe. Anywhere you go, people are engaged. They make sure that young people are engaged. That's the strategy. Because if young people are not engaged, what they engage into is drugs. illicit drugs everywhere. Because Gambia at some point we know that whether time Yaya Jammeh, whether time Barola is a transit point for drugs. Do opa dafa tour, do fi des, then go engage, then they engage, then say business. Lolo mo fi xew.
Okay.
Legi there are all sort of drugs, and the cheapest drugs more fi gonna garaaw. No fi gis ci dëkk bi most of these young people are engaged into this kind of drugs.
Okay.
Because there are certain crimes, if you are conscious jëluloo drug doo ko mën a def. Let's look at the crimes that are happening. People are killing their fellow brothers and sisters. ñu ngi rey seen papa, ñu ngi rey seen yaay. You think they are normal? They are sick. When one Park was on TV, this musician, and he said, I was in prison many times, I need help. Who helped him? Nobody. He was on TV saying it. We don't care about it. Dañoo xaar ba mu am problème ñu ne oh he's sick. What is our individual responsibility as Gambians? Let's look at that. Let's help the police. We need to have serious community policing. In Norway, when you are in a certain community, xamee wuñ la si koñ boobu noonu, they call the police. And the first thing they check papers. You check, so they are afraid. Because for them, that is part of their responsibility in helping the police. What is our responsibility in helping the police?
Okay.
Are we talking about our responsibility? So my problem with most people when I talked about all of this is like government. How about you? What is your responsibility? What have you done?
Okay, Basamba. Esa yangi buga wa and then you dem si uncle.
Point about security sector reform mom he thinks security sector reform be warna je 4 years ago. When we say security sector reform gis nga you see anywhere in the world especially scholars yu nga xamne they have expertise in security sector reform. They will tell you that security sector reform do je even so je but then it takes long. Why? Because security is a sector that is permanent in the state. Understand? And you have people there, and they are going out, but there are others that are coming. Okay. And about training. The others that are coming, you need to train them. How do you professionalize it? How do you change their mindset? Because especially, let's say they come from post-conflict or post-dictatorship. Do you understand? Dictatorship society. A security sector, security forces are used to a situation where they can abuse people's rights without any punishment. They can do anything. Understand? Changing their mindset. And in fact, that is one of the challenges of security sector reform in most post-dictatorship societies. It is about security forces themselves trying to, they don't welcome the idea of change because already it will threaten what they were enjoying previously. Understand? So you need to professionalize their mindset. You need to change their mindset to subject them to civilian control and democratic accountability. So Lolu, you don't do that within a short period. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that is an excuse for this government. In fact, this government is yet to start anything. They don't even know where to start when it comes to security sector reform. But based on expertise, based on, scholars in your and all that not, if you study security sector reform within the sub-region and even beyond, then security sector reform, there are law goes a long way. Okay. If you go to Liberia, security sector reform, obviously, most of them fail, in the sub-region. Okay. But then it took a long period of time. Okay. Start somewhere. Okay. So Gambia, obviously, we need time to do that. But then we are not seeing anything serious from the government. Okay. Because those that are enlisting in the security sector, they also need training. They need the equipments, how to use them, how to engage with the people, how to engage with the public. But then the major problem that we have in the Gambia, including most countries that went through security sector reform, more the issue of prioritizing regime security over public security. Okay. Dictators in the deaf, and even countries that transition to democracy, so say Madagascar for instance, they transition to democracy, experienced some of these security challenges. Okay. Later what they had was military coup in 2002, 2009. Okay. Gambia is heading to that. Not necessarily because we have a civilian president. We don't have the tendency of, having our security being jeopardized because, just to say that, civilian president is not a military dictatorship. Yeah, yeah. We can also go back to that situation. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Uncle Samsidine Sarr, yow nekkoon nga commander ci army bi, but then I know very well ne National Security Council by then during Jammeh's time, and now a little bit changes. I know that before it was centered around just certain individuals. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm correct. But then now we have SIS, we have IGP, we have the CDS, we have Navy Commander, Minister of Defense, which is actually new to what we are seeing now. Because before Amun won defense, I think Jammeh was somehow acting as Minister of Defense. what do you think is lacking? Because with the fact that now we have a lot of people involved, National Security Council and then we are not seeing any changes. Lan moy problem bi as an expert, as a security whatever expert. Yeah.
You guys are so fixated in Gambia the boogeyman.
No, but because yeah, because from the Ninyanga compare the two, and you know there are a lot of talks around this end.
Dictatorship, post-dictatorship, hammered over and over.
Yeah.
It's like becoming too cynical to me to say that time bobu guy dañoo ragal report crimes. You know, yeah, right? Dañoo ragal report crimes, which I don't think is true. Man nekk naa ci Gambia government bi as a army commander ci command center bi from 1995 to 1999, and I was part of the Security Council as the Army commander. The Navy commander was part of it. The director of NIA was part of it. The police commander was part of it. It was not Jammeh. Jammeh had never attended a Security Council meeting. It was Aissatou Njie, the vice president, who always chaired it. Yes. And we took charge of the narrative. We had amuñu any advisors. Ñun ñoo daan talk, ñu name Gambians and map out the problems. We look at the problems and come up with our solution.
Okay, but
after for so many years, Gambia, since independence, musuñoo doxal security without a foreigner behind it. You know, it started with the British, later on the Senegalese, and then a Ghanaian came, and then the Nigerians, the British again. You know, so until 1994, Gambia had never had Gambians running their own security show. That is why I can tell you, Nella, 1994, if Gambians were in charge of the security, kudu am, Nigerians lañ ko joxoon, mota bim ne tel, you know, everybody was like, well, we are not in charge. And the Nigerians dañ do talk ci seen kër yi. Soldat yi waroon na protect, gis ne ñoom, what's the point of protecting a government that is abusing you? You amuloo stake for its survival. They opened the door to try something different. And the country at that time, they were so fed up with the PPP. It was celebrated. 90% of Gambians came out in the streets celebrating the coup. It was well overdue, 30 years of the same system, that if it was not a coup, there was no way you would have won Jawara out of the office through election. So man, the idea of well, time Jammeh, nit ñi duñ daan report and so on, no. Time Jammeh sax. Time Jammeh sax. One time Jammeh sax. No, time Jawara sax. There was li ma gis ni dañ fi dellusiwaat, there was mob justice. Was so bad, vigilante groups. Ne gannaaw yi suñ ne sàcce bi dafa daw dem police station because Kanifing Joswang suñ la téye, they will drive a nail in your head. Then you drive a nail in your head to make sure you are dead. Yobuma police. It was that bad. So we are seeing a similar thing now. Vigilante justice. Why? Because ninja amatuñ confident to the security setup. You know, somebody told me, I don't know how true it is, why somebody called me, is very credible. Mama called about 2 weeks ago. Muna madama japa sacha suma kër. At 2 a.m. mu ngi sacha suma xar bi ma yóbbu ko police fekk gaaya ngeen nelaw ma leen ma ne leen sacha la am ñu ne am na COVID test. So amul clear negative COVID test, they are not putting him in the cell. Mu ne naka laay def dama ko bàyyi mu dem saam. So you know, like, what are we talking about? Xëy na sa police yooyu itam dañ fed up with the routine. Su paree seen kanaa leen ko. So there is something fundamentally wrong. Suñ ko paree ndax Jammeh leen fi bàyyi woon is bad, so anything is better. You know, we are making a great mistake. Why li ma wax rek mooy ne I love his analysis in the sense of community. But we tam na ko sense of community Gambia amuñ ko. Ñun so leen ko, and is printed all over the country. Ne kër da nga gis kër gi gën a nice call ay multi-million dollar. Génnal ci mbedda mi nga seet kenn kaare keewut naka la mbedda mi war a mel. You know, loolu is a sign ne ñun amuñ any interest in maintaining our community for the general welfare of everybody. everybody soo sampee néeg fii ba mu nice multi-million dollar nga ne xaaral ma dem kóotu beneen xaaral léegi sax doyatul xaaral ma dem Dakar samp fa benn étage you know so you are those things foo war a doyloo ne xaaral ma defar loo xam ne dina last for tomorrow suñ koñ bi fu ma nekka suma moto bi léegi mënu faa daw ndig suuf moto néeg bu fa gis moo gën a seer loo xelaat yii nag when you go to other countries nit ñi dañ dee am this collective responsibility and commitment to improve the society. You were talking about recreational activity. There is a project I am trying to launch Fimneka. Manko venture into whether it is going to work or not. So sete gis nga kotu thank you gis nga kotu ci Baton Haddon highway bi am na benn waterway soo ko seetloo dafa continuer dem be Dipakunda Latrikunda moo dem be Tipa Garas dem be Abuko ñun bi ñoo nekk kids foofu swimming foofu lañu daan jàngee swim di fa nappa yes you know like weeri koor booy Dipakunda yi Serekunda Latrikunda foofu ñëpp la fa daan ñëw mooy woon géeji kombo bi foofu lañ daan demee swimming ñun foofu lañ jàngee dañoo swim foofu la ñoo nappee am na boy su fa drown sax am na fi ñu daan waa Bamba Dinka soo mënut a swim moom yu nawet because di nga gis ne lifin la dafa téepar yi soo su nawet bi jotee dafa fees del jën façon jën bu nekk dañ ko fa amoon waaye ñu ngi ko pëluut yaxa koo ba léegi ndox maa ngee daw de waaye nam toogee woon ak nañ ko mënoon a use and nobody cares tilim ba fa nekk su ma koy wane ci sama lifin bi damay dee dem di leen vidéo I have naka la tuddaat gis naa ko fa dem oil bu laka borik la fa sotti mu ngi swim maa ngi naan waaw what is this in fact looloo taxoon ma dem pour gis président bi ñu jàppale ñu seen ndax dinañ mën a am NGA ñu réhabilitate ko loolu dina nekk a wonderful recreational lifin mun naa nekk sa waterway boo xam ne mun ngaa take a boat from here straight to Abuko if it is dug in the way it should sense of community I'm not doing it for myself I don't want a dime in it waaw waaye what I want to see is maybe su fi jógee hundreds of years ne yow ñoom Sam Sarr ñoo defoon lii ak organisation bi.
In fact we'll come to that dinañ waxtaane about sa visit to the president.
Bamba Dinka. Is it a different Bamba Dinka from Yaya Jammeh's Bamba Dinka?
Yes, the Bamba Dinka of the one of the NIA.
For clarity, because I don't
no.
want to start running there, go digging.
No. Bamba Dinka is like the Pahi Jasit.
Okay.
Moom la ñu wax Pahi Jasit. Bamba Dinka is like that. Pahi Jasit. Dañu wax na saat foofu teena fa nekkoon.
Okay.
If you cannot swim, soo fa soo boree da nga drown.
Okay, now uncle dinañ ñëw si sa visit bi boo visit on president bi. But then looking at setting National Security Council bi right now, are you really okay with that?
I don't know exactly the composition of the Security Council. Why Digarane is now chaired by a Minister of Justice, which I think is not right.
Yeah, I know he's part of.
Wow, my chair, my coordinator, sort of.
Yeah.
And even security sector reform, Minister of Justice. Why Minister of Justice? Lolo, it should be the Minister of Defense or the Minister of Interior, because why affair is security sector reform? Security sector reform is an ongoing thing. 1981, a major security sector reform was put here, and it evolved. It's an ongoing thing based on the threat. Why? After 2016, we had a major challenge that more shaped the concept of the security sector reform. And what was it? I was at the UN. Aduna siyeb dañ doon wane army bi MFDC be fa nekk police bi MFDC be Sidaat Diop toog na Dakar mu ne soo demee ci checkpoint soo làkkee olof kenn du ko dégga soo làkkee soose bi joolaa ak français rek la ñoo làkka dégguñ angale sax so the concept at the UN mooy ne the whole Gambia was occupied by MFDC rebels. One. Number two, ne Jammeh dafa jël ay square pegs in round holes by promoting people into generalship when they are not entitled to. So nit ñi yiñ doon gis security was to make these corrections.
And is that wrong? Ne dafa am certain people yoo xam ne ñu leen doon promote at that time fekk probably deserving ko sax.
Wow, depend na itam ni nga assessé promotion based on international standards. Dëkk bu nekk dafa set standards am. You know, at Gambian standards, in the promotion fufu. I once sat with an American general. One of the best generals in the sub-region was Ansu Jack. Ansu Jack has never been to school. Why, Luther? Because he knew how to implement tactics that we study in war college better than those who have gone to war college.
Uncle, so ñëw bi fii is very important. Dinañ ñëw ci loolu. Yow sa fii dinañ fi jàngal lu bëri. I'm learning a lot. Dañoo dem break.
No, why not? He cannot read. He cannot write, man. I have sat with man, Sumana.
Okay.
He couldn't read or write.
Okay.
He was really doing great things, man.
Okay, Dudu. Nañ dem break. Suñ demee break ñu play ñu Tamala and then ñu ngi fii Tamala foofu fii lañ nekk di def programme bi ci Fatu Network and then ci kanam gaan nañ ko wone Paradise TV. Then suñ dellu see ñu continuer waxtaane. Assalamualaikum mbokk yi di seetaan li nga xam ne mooy gis-gis waxtaane si li nga xam ne rek mooy yóbbu dëkk bi kanam.
The Constitution provides President can declare a state of emergency in two circumstances. Now I believe Gambia security is at risk for invasion. He has a right. Constitutional as it can last for 2 weeks.
yéen ñëpp gis ngeen ne dañu oote ne nañ ànd soppi nguur gi fi nekkoon loolu pexe la parti yi bokkuñu xalaat bokkuñu jubluwaay lii
Giss Giss bi back mala seen xarit Ansu Jack and then ñu ngi fi am Sam Sidine Sarr mu ngi nekkoon commander ci army bi and then nekk deputy ambassador during Jammeh's time nekkoon fi nga xam ne mooy UN Essa dinaa ñëw si yow naaw fu mu nekk nii ñu bëri ñu ngi complain with economic of course nu ñu fi nekk we know very well net ñu ngi wàññi numbers yi and then at some point AU ñoo nekkoon in charge di take care of them and then you gis other agencies you inject certain funding pour mën a sustain guy and then
you mean EU
still,
or AU?
No, EU, but at the initial stage, AU, I think.
Okay.
Wow, AU. No, it was EU, but then AU tamit they were somehow involved.
Okay,
but then now, Barrow, so whole how things are going, it seems ne mom Oluwood. I'm not saying that's the case, but he is more comfortable with economic being around him. Understand, guy? Man, I've talked to many soldiers, you see army, and I learned, I'm not really sure if that is true, about 200 soldiers nearby. And they are not happy because of things because of ignore, because they feel isolated and all of that. And now, situation with Gambia, what do you think needs to be done? Do you think the economic now they look back to say normal countries? Or what exactly do you think should be done?
It's not about whether you are sure or not. Barrow does not have confidence in the army. That's period. We all know that. Haumadal, he has his own reasons why, his government cannot still have confidence in the Gambian army to provide security for the country, especially when it has to do with the external. I mean, economic stable Gambia, for me, I think economic came here purposely to help kind of stabilize, in quote, the situation after the political impasse. And what must have, led to the extension of economic stay in the Gambia is reason best known to the Barrow government. And sadly, what we are in fact saying is that in fact, they want to transform it into a police mission after the 2021 election. Man, never forgot around 2018 or 2019, probably economic will be saying bye-bye to Gambia, especially that we have started a security sector reform according to the government. So with economic still staying in the Gambia, come Uncle Sam Numko Wahe, what is the essence of economic in the Gambia when the Gambia's crime rates are increasing? The security situation, the insecurity in this country is just getting worse when economic is here. It shows us that, it goes back to the point of regime security instead of public security. Because so high the security sector reforms are, in the old days, Claire Sott, when they were talking about security sector reform, it was more about state security than human security. But modern or contemporary security sector reform, we talk about human security. There's always human security. It is centered on public security, providing security to the public. But so okay, we will say dictators, for instance. So okay, regime security is prioritized over public security. Anything that is considered a threat to Jammeh and his regime is considered a threat to the Gambia. It's the same thing that is happening, even though this is a civilian government, but it seems like economic stay in the Gambia focuses more on the security of the Barrow government or Barrow himself as a person than the security of the Gambians. Because all these things are happening. In fact, what we are seeing, let me just learn. No, allow me to, you cannot help me. Allow me to learn. No, just allow me to learn. Just allow me to learn. What we are seeing more is that, in fact, some of those economic forces that are here, some of the forces are even, threatening our security, because we have seen incidents in Fonyi, in Kanilai, economic forces were involved. Understand? Are they here to stabilize and provide security internally to Gambians, or they're here to provide security to Barrow and his government? Because the reason why we're still having Barrow not having confidence in this, just remember we had a session. Okay, a National Assembly member was talking about the insecurity and how uncomfortable and unhappy the members of the security, especially the army, is with regards to economic stay in the country. Then are we saying that economic is going to be here even after 20? We cannot tell. Like after 2016, 5 years. Now they are saying after 2021 it's going to be a police mission. If Barrow should win the elections in 2021, are we going to have the police mission to continue up to 2026? When are Gambians going to take charge of their own security? After 81, it was foreigners or non-nationals who were in charge of our security. 1994, Nigerians were in charge, which of course, led to the outbreak of the coup. Now, after 2016, we are seeing non-nationals or external entities or outsiders taking care of our security. When are Gambians going to take care of their own security? Lolo kanya mo am.
Okay, now. Okay, Basamba. Okay, uncle. Okay, Basamba.
We have to distinguish between
Basamba, what?
Responsibility of economic and responsibility of Gambian security. Economic did not come to take over the responsibility of the Gambia Army or the Gambia Police. The Gambia Police is responsible for our internal security. The Army is responsible for something else. So the problem du ñu nekk di oko right now, du ñu nekk di report, du ñu gis problem bi bobu nonu moy problem the police should be able to counter those.
The thing is,
what is the responsibility of economic? Now, what is the role of economic?
The role of economic, because of the impasse. What are economic new? And they have a mandate.
Is over.
The impasse is over.
Yes.
But Gambians no want to decide to extend economic stay.
Okay.
Okay. So economic, external forces, new fineka. Like the EU and others, they have an interest.
Economic is a stabilization mission.
No, I'll tell you. You know what? Do you have Yaya Jammeh, Bumfe Gaina, everything was a scam. It was a game. Yaya Jammeh among the fundamental right to stay here, but the thing is, we hated Yaya Jammeh so much that we wanted the man to go, and we loved that economic was here. We wanted economic to come, and now we are further with economic. We want them to go. It doesn't work like that. You invited them here; they have a mandate. Then you get a mandate, and then there's a lesson. No,
they just
there's a lesson for us. This is a lesson for us.
Now, what is the mandate of economic? I'm asking you, what is the mandate?
No, this is no. Let me just no.
You're not telling me the mandate.
No. Let's send mandate. Then sign an agreement to be here for 3 years, right?
Okay.
3 years will elapse now. So government be ñoo wara review ñu seet ndax dañ fay nekka.
That is not mandate. You are not telling me the mandate still.
No, I'm not talking about responsibility. I don't want to talk about responsibility. No, responsibility. Wa crime bu ñoo wax ni lu ma wax mooy suñ police lañu wara equip. We have to understand that the police, working as a police, is not enticing enough. It's not good enough for Gambians. We have to increase their pay. We have to give them equipment. They have to be able to do their work. That has nothing to do with economic.
Okay.
See, Gambia security.
It has nothing to do with economic. I'm not alone.
Wow, lima jima wa affaire ni. Alright, ñu ngi wax ni economic. Let's be realistic. Economic lanay seen mandate mooy ne li gënoon naata ñu yàgga fi mooy ne security sector reform bi pareegut security sector reform bi loolu la ñoo wax ne pareegu dañoo xaar ba pare nit ñi am confidence ne am nañ ci luñ sukkandikoo problème bi amuñ ci luñ sukkandikoo benn tey dafa mel ni security sector reform bi niñ ko yaakaare woon because li ma leen waree traite biñ doon wax ne moo nekk ci dëkk bi moo fi nekkut li fi di type of di waaw dañ exagéré loolu ak gouverneur naka la tuddaati ne armed forces si ne foreigner si MFDC mu fi nekkoon loolu yëpp exagération la promotion si they were based ñun bi ñoo dugg ci army bi in 1985 army bi foog naa ne ñun ñetta rek dem college léegi how many university graduates ñoo nekk ci army bi with skills and so on so loolu dafa improve tremendously you know during Jammeh's time. Jammeh really educated the army.
Okay, now uncle, because of
balal ma land foofu rek mooy ne man nag li ma jéem a wax mooy ne dañ underutilize economic dañ leen underutilize moo tax benn tey mënuñoo gis seen purpose in this country ñu ngi wax ne stabilizing force la waaye there was nothing unstable to be stabilized dañ leen fi indi because all these things dañ foogoon ne problem la ci dëkk bi when they are not François Ndiaye the general who came into the country mu ne li ñu leen waxoon ci army bi ak li ñu waxoon ne moo nekk ci dëkk bi ak ñaawteef gi ñu fi waroon naa nekk ñoom they were happy ne or they were shocked ne fekkuñ ko fi understand nga so ñun xeexkat lañ ñu indi woon reyante and Gambians were happy to prepare to see ne xeex amoon na te ni ko noon xeex boobu du stop man loolu laa doon jéem a stop sax at that time waaye li ma biñ ñëwee dañ waroon naa jëlaat ci liñ bénéfité woon after 1981 because 1981 amatuñu woon army Sénégalais yi fi deploy seen the best of their forces fu nekk ci dëkk bi waaye pour government bi justify ko utilize leen seen security sector reform at that time which was a security sector reform dañ def some merger armed forces yi Gambia army bi which was built in 1985 a component of it was attached to the Senegalese Confederation, which was funded by foreign governments. Ñu leen a fay very well. So it was an incentive for the army. Every year or two, danga am a contingent of the army attached to the foreign Senegalese forces as the Confederation. I was once commanding a Confederate force at Khartoum. And then we benefited very well and had a stake in maintaining the status quo. And ñun ñëpp a were committed on to make sure we maintain peace and stability. Jaral lañu suñ bakkan yi sax. So loolu dama foogoon ne mënoon nañoo sàcca that idea bi économique ñëwee ba force mandatam bi jeex. dañ waroon a security sector reform foofu lañ ko waroon a commencé ne léegi dañoo seet the best of the best in the army ñu leen a jox test according to international standard or standards which are set locally. And suñu amee passes ñooñu dinañ leen attach to economic ñu woog a ñoom receive the same pay which is being paid by the French every year or every 6 months ñu rotate ñu benefit and ñeneen ñëw ñëpp dinañ feel am a stake in it su crisis amee in the country sax they can wear economic uniform play economic role when they are really Gambians.
Okay.
This is an approach that I thought could have helped a security sector reform upgrade the standard of the army to what we are trying to make them do now. Ne dañ leen bëgg a oriented nga nekk civilian oriented ñu nga leen a déglu command from the civilian. That's what we are doing.
Okay. Okay. Now, Uncle, because of your law mention, then did them see Lamin Jai, but then I'm the law mention fee. Ne, I'm the you don't want there are bad elements you have then you see army. And then still new fee. Still only there. Amen. But then, do you think because we've seen there was a time my party, Bumnekon Interior Minister, gang don't introduce some ideas of vet army to a point that you want to gain any army from the army, and in fact still. Ninyanga wane gang say job and then ñeneen nga wane lolu is very wrong. Your opinion on that suñu waré jël ko xamné mu ngi ci army bi ñu put ko off, what do you think lolu moy ñëw nek impact bi after, because we so far lu ñu nekk di gis ñu ngay gis nit ñaa ngay use arms and then a lot of things and then army bi ñu bari ñu ngi buy about 200 people ndax ñooñu nonu mëna ñoo bokk ci criminals su ñoo wax ni sax, is that possible? So vetting bobu nonu nak nga ko gisé ne dañu wara vet army bi and all of that.
Wow, vetting of the army gis nga do suñ ko vete in the right way. Ku nekk dafa feel ne he's treated fairly.
La moy nekk right way.
Thank you, that's a good question because soo ko seetloo biñ ñëwee am na general yuñ daaxa maintain general yeneen general ñëpp Yaya Jammeh moo leen promote based on his standards. What was the criteria? Nobody told us. Understand nga? So jàppee Savage daaxa ko war Daha Martin, Daha Sow. Why do you keep Masani Kinte, Yankuba Drame, and all the generals that are running around when they are of the same qualification, same experience, or and the same ranking? So there must be a standard set first. So what I was thinking is that let's come to what the Nigerians did when they came. Because we complaining about the army ranking system was based on first come, first serve, not merit. And they said they were going to change that. When they arrived, for about 2 weeks, then you set up on a basic major training and put us in a test. Test Bohamne, then you said the most competent among us. And they had results. Why being pare, nyomitam, because sen tamo me jesi, ñu dem ci Jawara ne ko suñ paree restructure army bi based on competence dafa lower morale of the senior officers because some junior officers are more qualified. Why then so ñu ne dañu extend to train them. Why what they should have done mooy what the American army does and the Senegalese army. Suñ gisee ne you are a liability yaa ngi carry a rank boo xam ne it doesn't meet your qualification, then you have what they call stovepipe. Then you redeploy somewhere. Nga hamne, then you have benefits. Why do you allow sa seniority new romba? So you have test nga fail yene. Then you buy nela do pass a rank bi. Munna la fa romba. Senegal they do that. We could have done the same thing. Munon ne you set up a testing, training and testing mechanism. Munna nyo invite sa foreign help. Why man fogg na ne sa ñun Gambians mun ko def. Put the soldiers through test and you have a panel to also interview every officer. Bo xamne di nga wara xam li mo xelaté. Ndaki he is a coup d'etat risk or he is a rebellious soldier. Ndaki understand na his role as a soldier and he should be obedient to the civil command. You can determine them in a panel bo xamne dañu ñew after giving them written tests. Then you write a paper, and that's what the Nigerians did. Then you do a test, you write ko, justify ko, and they question us on those papers. And lolu soko defon. In fact, so besbo establish the testing period, syllabus bi. Ngane len nak you are going to go through this. If you fail, you can lose your rank and your job. But you are offered the option of knowing your standard and perhaps taking an amount of money and be retired honorably. I will tell you, Nella, those who don't think that they can pass through the test will walk out of it to avoid embarrassment.
Of course.
This is the thing lo xamne suñ ko defoon kon ku génn doo feel ne dañ la treat unfairly.
Okay, uncle. Like, didn't know your ideas are very important because I'm learning a lot. But then let's come to Lamin Jai. Lamin Jai, depuis deployment economic in Gambia, depuis 2017 January. Nanga gauge things. Is there any improvement?
Economic.
Do you think the idea is welcome? Because, well, according to Afrobarometer, Bunyum said Mati they work on. I don't know whether Esanja is also part of that. But then in 2019, guy ñu ngi defoon benn report. Ñu reveal ne survey bu guy defoon. And the report will indicate more 50% of Gambians is supporting the idea of economic ñu nekk fii nii. So Giss Giss.
Okay, thank you, Ansu. Man suma gis-gis, I don't even think whether it is appropriate pour ñu wax sun problem internal security, ñu wax economic. Because these are two totally.
So distinguish the two.
Wow, dama bëgg distinguish the two.
Very difficult to do.
These are two totally different things.
Okay.
Economic, their role was well, some would see it as complex, but it was very simple. To restore democracy in the Gambia. That was their mandate.
No, economic mission is not to restore democracy.
That was the mission.
Okay,
In fact, that was how they called it.
Okay.
Nyom sen role the mandate was to make sure that the will of the Gambian people is respected, and then to make sure to help the Gambia stabilize. Beyond that, that is another issue. Beyond that, liñ nekk di discuss with tey mooy nit ñëw sa kër mu daaji sa kër. Economic, they didn't come here for that. They never came here for comme saaca nit bu jam nit si mbeda bi reego. That is not their role.
I think people are missing. Okay, we'll come back. They're just getting it wrong anyway. Just go ahead.
These are societal ills. These are societal ills because economic, if you look at the paper and all everything, there was the problem of the Gambia was a purely political crisis. It was not internal security issues, more economic joke, Jelsen fatally ñofi. That was not the issue. This was a political crisis that happened. The Gambia sought help from the world to come and help us make sure Jammeh leaves, Barrow takes over. But after that, there will be a transition. New dimbale dekabi, new stabilize. Of course, we have our police. The police takes care of our internal security. So the issue of okay, need the daji, need the kiram, and you want to talk about economic in that respect.
You go to the police, right?
Look at how economic operates, for example. Purely.
It's a geographical space.
Soko Hole.
Yeah, I want to come to that.
Yes, Soko Hole. It's Ninko Sete is very straightforward. They just mandate strategic points. Then the protection of the president and the presidency, the VIPs. That is it.
But presidency
on occasion. Oh yes, on occasion, the guy Gisne, if something happens, something major happens. For example, when the youths wanted to take over, when they wanted to overrun anti-crime were powerless. Then draft in economic. They can ask them to come and, I mean, you beef off. It's just on request. It's not necessarily. That is the job of the economic. Comme dara su xewé wala nit saaca nit wala mu dew rek ak mo jël taal sen mo dem fa lolu di sen liggéey
way gis nga
when it comes to our security let's make it very interactive.
I want us to make it very interactive.
Kon army bana suñ jëlon part of the army di len
yes
amal with the economic.
Yes.
Kon su internal crisis yi joté mun nga send Gambians to come and do it.
Yes.
And the foreigners stay in the back.
They are doing that. In fact, they are doing that.
I want to comment
like for example,
in
in the case of the anti-crime incident, that riot, if you look at that, Gambian army came. Gambian army soldiers were deployed. Economic were deployed, but the Gambian army came, they got there first. So these are two different issues. We can rely on our security, but when it comes to internal security matters, we need to be serious about it. Our police, soon police be, action army be, war nañu mëna def liggéey bi. Waaye naka lañ ko mëna defee? That has to do with the leadership. The leadership has to be able to be committed. You make sure you jail decisions you have there. Then reform all this. Yes, security sector reform, the jail time. Sometimes you can be radical, you can be ruthless. The president can come and say, okay, I want reform within the security and reform the but that is risky. In a country for 22 years, I mean, you have all these security sectors, security institutions that were bastardized, the NIA. That is one of the most important security
I disagree.
You will not agree with me.
Yes,
but that
because
is my opinion.
I think
these were bastardized.
the security will improve tremendously, purely autonomous.
Let's talk about
the way it was set. It was about regime security. Public security too. Jammeh can be very crazy and people are fearful. So they say yenay police yi dañ la ñew ju jappala wala soldat yi ñew ju jappala. So that I mean that lolu fear bobu nonu ragal bobu nonu tan ñu bari sax even criminals so bëggee def dara da nga ne he man suma defee li suma jappé dafa gara. So that was the non lañ ko sété. But if you look at sun security bill légui I mean, nothing is being done about them. The army, there is massive dissatisfaction within the army. I mean, of course, if you talk to them, they will deny it. They will play it down. Then go play down. You know, we have no problem with economic. Of course, they have every problem with economic. 1994, one of the coup d'etat was as a result of that because foreign troops were in the country. Our troops were useless. Yunsun army but just patrol borders and then that's it. But they want to take charge. They want to take charge.
Ansu, I just want to
no, you will talk.
The best in international peace.
Exactly. They want to take charge.
Nations, Gambia army is the best in international keeping.
And they want to take charge. But from you Giss Lolu, President B has to work towards that direction.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, so let me again the
You see, nobody
you never see the good taste of the army because of
Answer what you allowed. Okay, Lami, you allowed me. This is Gambia's internal security problem. Nobody is saying that economic law. We are blaming you. No, I'm just allow your chance. Allow me.
You cannot talk about
your chance. You see, a very restoration.
It's not the same.
No, a very restoration of democracy now.
I don't know.
It's not ECOWAS. So how economic bunyo wani? It all came from ECOWAS. Understand? Political impasse when started. ECOWAS, there was a mediation team. Okay, that which the mandate of which was to help restore democracy, to make sure that the sovereign will of the Gambian people stood. Okay. Economic mission B is a military mission, one can say, a stabilization force. Disagree now, well, that's his opinion. Fine. But you cannot totally distinguish because Gambia's internal security problems right now. All what we are talking about, it all boils down to what? Security sector reform. One coffee. At some point, when the economic mandate probably ended by at the 3-year period, we should have at that point like we are starting a proper security sector reform. Understand? The internal problems that we are talking about, armed robbery and all that, we are saying that there is a lapse in the security sector. Because even the draft assessment report of the security sector reform, people said, community members said there is a lapse in the security sector. So Lolo one and soon security sector reform is not working as we want it to work. And we cannot say the economic being here, they are not here for internal. Why did they go to Faraba? No, I'm just saying, why did they go to Faraba?
When the state needs them. When the state, I said that.
That's what I'm saying. Why did they go to
I was there.
But I'm saying, when the state needs them. When the state
what we are saying is that you cannot
totally. The state brings them, invites them.
No. What I'm saying is,
it's not like Lamin
will just get up and then go. We said economic is
they are invited.
We said economic is a stabilization. Why economic is a stabilization mission? And right now, Gambia is not stable. You cannot totally distinguish that. You cannot say that economic didn't work again completely. Nobody is saying that armed robbery we have. See the kabi economic no responsible, no one arrest situation. Nobody is saying that. But we are saying that economic mission here is to protect Barrow and his regime. Unless you want, no, let me just say this one more. Unless you want to tell me, that economic is here to protect Barrow and his cronies, then I can tell you that economic has nothing to do with it. But if that is not the case, then I am saying that economic and all those people have a responsibility.
If you want to say economic, I'm not saying that. You cannot have that.
In the first place, what I want to say, in the first place, what I want to say, economic intention in the first place was bad. The reason why economic came, we all knew at the time. We thought that Yajame refused to leave. But Yajame had the legitimate reason to stay. But we all were for economic. When we went at the border in Senegal, and economic will come, we were chanting and shouting and welcoming them. Today we are tired of economic. For what reason? Because we want to use that as a tool to sabotage some other people. But no. Let me just say. Let me just say. Economic when we don't know, we are all happy. Because then Buga Yaje moved them at the time. We all hated that man. For whatever reason, most of the reasons are not genuine. Economic are here and then our discussion is not on economic. So internal security bu ñu wax mooy problem yi man li ma bëgg a du dellu si discussion bi mooy young people, most of the crimes happening in this country are by young people. Why? This is the question.
Yes.
Are we engaging our young people? Are we talking about the drugs in this country? Who are taking these drugs? Who are bringing these drugs here? Let's go after these drugs. Let's go after young people. Help these young people. Recreational facilities yoo xam ne xale yi ndaw yi dañoo mën a engage seen boppam.
Okay, that's fine.
Li mooy point bi Ansu.
Okay, Basama no gabare because of time. Basama yang no wadara Dudu no gaaw rek and then ñu ñëw back.
Yes, Ansu li ma bëgg a wax mooy economic buñ fi dugasee man since the impasse dama doon dem round. I was at State House for over 1 hour. Maa ngi fa taxaw di seet li fa xew.
Okay.
What first happened, our military, they were demoralized. Ken Wahumako, I was an eyewitness, and publicly people can attest to that. Then learn this ambena, nyom nyep sen lohoy ñu tek ko sen bopa yi, they were working them out. If ñena ñi sen sponge fu ñu doon fanan, dañ ko enu pour ñu génné la. Which shows ne economic sen ñew ñu ngi wone ne we no more need the military. From the onset lolu mo fa nekkon, and people were jubilating. Bir Banjul fofu dañ ko doon celebrate. Di natalo gaay di len jox loxo. From that pretext, yen signal la mo sen, then the security now economic is in charge. So we have internal security economic waruñ se boka nañ ko date back to fofu. This was the norm. Allow me to learn. This was the norm. This was the belief. Ma jox la benen example. Busumbala problem amon na fa. 3 days nit ñi took security in their own hands. Para ñëw nañ dara, policy nothing. You mount a checkpoint. This said moto yi. The issue mooy kan moo sol T-shirt APRC, who is APRC. Ñu leen a wàcce di leen harass. They brought the army from the barracks. ñoo fa mount 2 checkpoints at the entry of Busumbala. Ak sooy génn Busumbala, they control it. Ba tey Busumbala never went back to that problem. The issue of anti-crime buñ ko take over, I was there. Economic lañ deploy ñu ñëw fa. They were begging the youths ñooñu di leen saagandey faale wuñ leen. Because their mandate is not to pounce on our people. Suñ ko defee the people will attack them again. The current CDS was there, Yakubu Darame. Mu gaada youth si pour adresse leen gaay di ko saagandey di ko laa yow ban woo nga Musa xee lan moo la def general faale wuñ ko. In my presence, no, I am coming. I am coming until and unless you bring in the army. I was there as an eyewitness. Soldat yi bu ñëwee pick up moo njëkk a ñëw. Gaay wàcce ay carton. The second ñi aksi was trog la. Ñi wàcce ay carton ma gis ne tear gas la. I never waited for it. Ma dem araw burusubli bu ma dellu si. Foofu dafa set wécc. I only saw the soldiers at the junction. From foofu ma start di dem round ba si guddi bu ma ñibbi. Dama ñëw ba Bambo. Sooy koofu taxi de koofee ma bugg a jaar dem boori Serekunda police station pour seet lu fa xew soldier bi stop ma mu ne ma fii people are not accessing it use this way ma wiire jël Westfield ñëw ba Bartes pour ñëw saati l'hôpital bi noonu Bartes mu direct ma ne ma jëlal yooni hospital bi nobody is accessing the market and the police station. From that onset the crime was over yi fi anti crime ak all this lii moo laa woon proof ne our soldiers fu mu tofee ñoom ñoo dee ñëw ñu control the national security with all that. But joxuñ leen the environment, the responsibility and the opportunity. But economic tried and they are not succeeding in internal security. Why? Because of economic, we are not using the soldiers. Let's accept that. Economic plays a role. So facts yi laa bëgg a joxe, nobody told me as an eyewitness. Gis naa lii dox ak ñan ñoo ko neutralize.
Okay, now.
Listen to Nene, she's been quiet for too long.
No, because of time. Nene, so opinion on this about economic nuñ fi nekkee. And then quickly you move on, and then you close.
I have said over and over, time without number, they've overstayed their welcome. Okay? Li taxoon ñu ñëw understand nga loolu newatu fi. It was a specific purpose. I mean, saying okay ñaari du benn ak yooyu noonu. How can our own internal security do what they're supposed to do? I mean, mind you, I'm not naive of the fact ne understand nga am na nit yoo it need to be sanitized. Am na ñoo xam ne definitely they don't belong there. That is a fact as well.
Gambian army.
Exactly. So that need to be taken care of. But my belief is that because the statistics are there, the evidences are there. Suñ mënee jël suñ nit ñi di leen yóbbu outside for peacekeeping mission ñuy leen di award foofu di leen wane they are the best they can do it. Why are they not doing it here? So for man
don't you think ne loolu is propaganda? Because the thing is, man, when I was a kid, xaaral ma ñëw moo nekk xale dama digga ne Gambia ñoo am the best airport si Africa. No, I'm coming.
I was at the UN. I have reports being written.
Okay.
I was at the UN.
Okay.
I was responsible for deploying soldiers to peacekeeping missions.
Okay.
Because discipline the Gambian soldiers, which is a part of their character. They know when they are not, they them the nan, the man, the down to ko jigeni. They know Julie, they know Topasun, wherever you want them, they do it. Everybody, again. Then among at the back of their mind, so they feel mess up. Nga do Gambia feka fi jame, you are in trouble.
Okay.
So
I think also
soldat bi soo ko joxee responsibility a lot of times attitude am environment bi moo ko dictate soo excès looy mooy determine whether soldat bi dafa jub mbaa mu dënga mbaa mu def mbaa mu ragal mbaa mu ñemeñ yooyu yëpp waa environment bi moo ko dee dictate so loolu te ñun suñ génnee bitim réew dañ dee roy suñ morom ñi you know Liberia sax kam bi pour protect ko Gambian si lañ ko doon bàyyee you know dëkk yu bëri ak suñ police they are doing beautiful abroad so gisuma lu tax duñ ko mën a def ci dëkk bi suñ leen joxee incentive bi and the trust
ok uncle bàyyi ma ñëw back to
am na lu ma bëgg a wax ci lu ma ko bëgg a tontu gis nga suñ army bi tamit duru li mu wax mu ne dañ leen dee saaga respect guñ leen but that respect is earned look if they are going there and they are so disciplined and they are the best they can do that here gis nga best bu Jammeh lose election bi that election night you have some of our military ñi nga xam ne you are now minister of interior moom dañ dellu kër dem sol seen military lifin uniform ñëw jël seen gànnaay ne Jammeh du dem you know clearly Jammeh
who was that
soldiers in this country were insisting
He's talking about Emeba.
No, you what
because I knew what
I was there.
I was there.
I was at the state house that night.
That is not true.
I was at the state house that night.
Against what was happening at the Saga
election.
communities.
Jammeh lost the election. What I'm saying is the truth.
Emeba.
The fact of the matter is, our military, they were like this. You have one part, boo xam ne ñu ne Jammeh du dem. When they know clearly, Jammeh ñàkk na election bi. So that is indiscipline. That is not discipline. So they cause this problem. This economic coming here, ñoom ñoo ko cause. Because if they had stood by the
sorry, because of time.
They did not do that. And now people are disrespecting them and they don't like that too. Impasse bi ñoom ñoo ko fi isi. Impasse bi ñoom ñoo ko cause. You don't can disrespect la, but you don't respect yourself. They brought this impasse into this country.
No, because of time now.
You is a new problem. Now economic is performing their duties.
All started with the UN Security Council and Lamin was not there.
Uncle, now can we have...
It's not a concept. This is the reality.
Mr. Jai, because of time, please. I'm not in court.
I have some very good friends in that army.
You cannot handle
in
this.
the army.
No, Lamin, please. No, nene.
What's at the UN?
Okay. Compared to what Lamin is
Uncle,
telling
we'll come to
the
that.
army were preparing to
Mr.
fight
Jai,
even the economic.
Mr. Jai. Okay, nene, namunga nyo.
Jammeh lost.
When Nene speaks, nobody speaks. Hello.
Okay, nene, just go ahead.
Okay. The bottom line is,
No, it's opinion on
and
this.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
No, go ahead.
The bottom line is, again, out of the topic. The thing is, there is lack of security in this country. Nit ñangi ragal, nit ñangi tiit, nit ñangi lox. Naka la ñoo def ñu make sure ne ñun ñëpp ñu ngi safe. Loolu la ñoo wax. Economic overstay nañ seen welcome. Li leen fi indi xam nañ ko. Jammeh dem na depuis kañ nañ naka lañ ko waxatuñ ko. Baro fi nekk baro ne ko di def li moo def. Understand nga? Ba pare dem man li ñoo wax naan security bi they're not even doing their job. It's not a matter of not doing their job. They've been reduced to nothing. How can the security go and do things when they have been disarmed? They've not been given any responsibility as and we are paying them salaries. Understand? They cannot do it. That's the thing. And do understand? If the country needs them. Okay, Faraba, lan moo tax economic bi dem fa, lan moo tax empower the army ñu dem ñu def liñ def dañ ñu ko doon defee naka anti crime lan moo tax empower ñu dem fo ñu yónni fa economic since economic that's not their job. You understand? So let them stay in their place. The bottom line is, and now we know that it's not only doing that has gone, ñu ngi leen di try pour make leen ñu overstay naka continue to stay. They need to go. Li ñu itteel mooy suñ aar kaaraange man ak yow. Understand nga? Parce que ki ñoo fay chief civil servant bi pour mu aar ma man ak yow nekkul duñu aar. Loolu la ñu war a wax. Let's hold him to account. ñu make sure ne man ak yow ñu ngi tëddagu di ñu ngi safe. That's the thing. Let's not
No,
take it out of context.
okay, so Nene, does it? Yeah? Okay, si kanam nañ indi sa Gambia, and then ñu wax moom. No, Dudu, nu gën a gàtte rek, please, because because uncle dafa am lu mu war a wax, but then time rek, please, na gàtte, na precise, and then ñu ñëw si Basamba. Okay, Dudu, go ahead.
Yeah, man, dama bugg a dëgëral lu Nene wax. Foog naa ne dañ deviate out of the topic.
No, bàyyi ma ñëw.
So is that issue? It's topical.
Dudu. Sorry, Dudu. Just come straight.
Li isi about economic mooy internal security foofu lañ ko piin waxuma ne la teewloo economic o warut see bokka fi ma miin ne dañ deviate from it mooy you were trying to solve the blame ne because kii demut li ak li moo ko cause internally li happen la
that is his opinion. So your opinion on this.
ñu ngi dëkk ci xaal bi nga xam ne ñu ngi tiit ñu ngi ragal nit ki suy génn sa am na lu bari lu moo xalaat lan moo ko mun a saafaral mooy suñu internal security keneen du jógee si biti ñoo defal ñu ko yàlla tereti ko su chaos amee fii ñi fi nekk they won't die in this country ñoom they want to earn money go back home and enjoy it. They will not put their neck on the guillotine pour ñu rey leen fii mu jeex ñi waaw ñoo xam ne ñoo fee def seen bakken mooy suñ internal security dañ leen war a use dañ leen war a empower dañ leen war a equip ñu dooleel leen pour gis ne dëkk bi mu am jaama mun naa am Gambia dëkk bu tuuti la ñun ñëpp we are very connected fii suñ buggee seet ñan ñooy def karaam ñu fi nekkoon Basamba raise na ko about that community policing are we doing it nekkuñ di ko def ñun dañ xeeb suñ own security te lu jógee ci biti munut ñoo jox ñun luñ soxla ko xamut foo jëm nag deelul fi nga jógee foofu lañ war a xoolaat ñu gis ne internal security man gom naa ne mun nañ koo def and we should trust them they are Gambians our men and women in uniform they have been doing it suñ ko munee def ci biti bañ ne naa taacul how about fii
okay now Basamba nañ dem because of time rek and then ñu dem si uncle ñu conclude
with emphasize those three things man I think this is our problem we need to equip our police make it an enticing liggéey boo xam ne ku nekk bëgg na koo def pour defense suñu dëkka there is only one way pour defense sa dëkka nga soo sa loyalty uniforme boobu noonu kenn caaxaanewu ko seen dëkka waa ñun fii su uniforme boobu noonu faalewuñ ko police yi ak army yi lañ fi gën a xeef si dëkk bi te ñoom ñoo nekk di protect this life and citizen of this country waaye ñooñu liggéey yoo lañ gën a xeef si liggéey yëpp let's empower them let's equip them and let's increase their pay second civic education community policing sense of community we've lost it in this country we've lost it at the time ñun léegi ñun suñ anytime dem day wax loolu ñun ba tey ñun suñ papa yi ñooy borom kër ñun suñ maas yi kenn du fi borom kër du ne da nga sampa kër responsibility xale yi démocratie dafa am na ku nekk dafa am freedom they have the democracy but they don't know what to do with it you see kids out taking drugs in the day am I taking responsibility to tell them not to do you have not even dofuloo sa nga wax xale yi nga wax lu ñoo def si dëkk bi everybody is just open there the parents are busy trying to make money because the country is too hard it's too difficult and the kids they have the liberty to do anything they have the liberty to take drugs they have the liberty to go to anywhere at any point in time so diggee si taxi xale yi ndaw ngaa gis ñu ko taxi guddi yàlla so li ma wax mooy our problem is we need to engage our young people we need to engage them we need to support them we need to have recreational facilities we need to empower our police we need to encourage civic education and community policing This is
okay because of time duñ mun a exhaust topic bi honestly because dañ war a talk about young people nuñ involve si illicit drugs yi ak all of that so there are a lot of things yoo xam ne dañ ciy wax probably next week nañ ñëw ñu continuer ci loolu noonu but uncle yow yaa ngi visit on president bi of recent and then ya ngeen discuss things yoo xam ne man I cannot disclose but then yow just nu mu gën a gàtte na mun nga ñëw why the visit because of course that is very normal. There are people who have they applaud, and then there are people who have they were not really happy with the visit, subject of discussion with the president. But then ndax mun nga ñu wax ci lu gàtta rek quickly, and then you okay.
Because dama ko gisee jël pictures maa ngi run around dem na KMC pour ci Taliban Suda because dama foogoon ne it was a KMC issue wax naa ko ñu bëri
okay
boo koli former mayor laaj naa ko and then moom defal appointment sax ma dem meet Taliban Suda waaye ma gis ne they were not very keen laa ko mën a wax they were not very excited ñu jox ma kenn ne naa ko kooku nen ma defal appointment mu fàtte so man xam naa some people ñoo xam ne ñu ci government bi ma ne ko xaaral ma try
Mansour
government bi
am na ko war a dugg si waaw oncle continue
xaaral ma try government bi loolu ma dimbale ñu defaral ma appointment ma ci président
okay
and ma wax ko and he was so happy he was so excited about it mu ne ma well I think ne lii so ñu bindalee a concept note about it ñun dinañ dem seet naka lañ laa jàppale boole laa kañ na di relevant organisation yoo xam ne because ñoom ñëpp ku ma ko wax daal soo ko seetloo di nga xam ne li ma wax lu baax la ci réew mi not pour Sam Sarr or pour Yaya Jammeh or pour Barrow or anybody or it's very good for the country anybody su ma demoon to any person ku ma oppose Lamin sax su ma ko yóbboon officer dina ma ne lii baax
okay
waaye li ma wax bi ma demee look at it and you say am na ci ideas yoo xam ne sax xelaatuñ ko ci looloo ma ko yóbbu so biñ paree nag waxtaan
so Jammeh's name was mentioned, right?
waaw Jammeh li ma ko waxoon mooy ne moom li ko gën a mooy dëkk bi ñu ñëw together ñu ñëpp ñu reconcile nekk benn ñu move ñu go through 2021 def ko successfully Gambia nekk one people ma ne ko nag waaw waaye dama ne ko loolu at some point Jammeh even bi mu coup d'état yee Jawara coup d'état ni mu garaawee ne Jammeh Jawara toog na ba xalaat loolu mu indi Jawara baak ñu defar loi jox ko status former président teral ko ba mu dee ma ne ko suñ jëloon route boobu ñu indi waat Jammeh xam ne daf doon run a government ñu jox ko yelefam as a former president dëkk bi ñiiroo ŋaaroo bi fi nekka dina stop xol yi nekka benn and that is what I suggested to him waxuma dara about nag ne li nga wax dëgg la oo li nga wax lii waaye li ma fiir rek mooy ne it was an opening boo xam ne dialogue bi ma bëgga pour ñu reconcile man moom laa fiir ne foofu lañ war a jaar
so you said ne Jammeh should be accorded the same thing
lim defoon Jawara
I disagree.
No, but then now yow si yow loo bugg a wax ci gàttal mooy ne Jammeh war naa mën a ñëw te du jaar through courts or justice or whatever
waaw parce que Jammeh because man Jammeh was running a government Jammeh was running a government te ñi ko ngañañ ni yëpp dañ ko doon jàppale ni mu doon running government bi léegi la TRRC bi ñëw ku nekk di jéem a run away from the responsibility ne da nga ci bokkoon waaye day one su dëkk bi ne dañ juboon ni ko noonu gis nga li xew Myanmar moo fay xew bés bi mu ne coup d'état ñëppay bañ jooje si lawyer si teacher si yëpp wooka si ne nanguwuñ ko ñun duñ accept fii duñ fi accept sa government bi because government bi dafa illegitimate waaye ñëpp a daw jàppale ko for the 22 years ñi coow yëpp ñu ngi ne woon nuut because he was running a government boo xam ne is purely different from what we know during the PPP days Ghana they had a similar situation Nigeria South Africa was worse apartheid waaye when they were ready they came together and build ne government moo dee def loolu government nag soo ne da nga koo tëral ci sarta loi ni mu war a doxee amul fenn ci àdduna si gis ngeen li xew Israel recently these days you know is illegal li Israel di def is illegal waaye in Israel is legal to them so fi mu nekk crimes Netanyahu commit in these 11 days, rape over 250 people, 63 of them babies, children. Lolu crime against humanity. Why he is running a regime, not a press union or a bar chamber. No. So man motama feel ne Ghana. Rollins was worse according to Ghana. Why the correctly Ghana stabilize ko. Biñ paré dem ne dañ ko prosecute. Ghanaians they are not going there because a lot of people still believe in him massively. So ko fa paré prosecute dafa destabilize country bi. So man ci lool lay wax. Ben tay instead of dañ fogo ne by now Jammeh after the TRRC do ñu mëna wax turu Jammeh ci dëkk bi. It's a different effect. You know, in fact, a lot of people might say, oh, we miss him. And there are thousands of Gambians still who believe he did a good job. So, ñun pour ñu reconcile, fok ñu balalante ne state bi mo dé def lolu. Dégg na Essa Fall wax ki ne ko 3 years jot na bi. 3 years jot na bi was wrong. You know, niñ leen treaté why lolu government la. Adama Barrow had to stand stuff when affaire 3 years jot na. Gis ngeen li xew Sénégal lañ doon wax affaire yi April lifin bi similarly moo xew Sénégal bam tofee Macky Sall dafa let go the bullets to stop a chaos that could have destabilized the country. Governments ñoo dee def mistakes yi and crimes yi soo ne nag government bu ñëw su defee thing benn président du survive dañ koo tëj oo ñu daxala ci dëkk bi. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
Now because of time. No.
Kañ nga foog ne Jammeh dafa war a delsi suba wala gannaaw suba. Maybe ma am si I can have a story for my website tonight.
Nga ne kañ laa foog ne dafa
foog ne Jammeh dañ ko war a bàyyi mu delsi Gambia.
It's not affaire bàyyi waa man su ma ko mënoon tey sax mu def ko.
Tey sax mu ñëw delsi.
Tey mu dellu si. su ma moom lu ma gën a tey sax mu ñibbisi waat ñu jox ko waru galam. mu toog nekkaat fi ñu respect ko xam ne he's a former president and then we take it from there ba pare Adama Barrow di seet ne tomorrow moom it dañ ko war a accord a similar thing.
Okay, Essa loolu bëgg
affaire Jammeh la. I mean, according Jammeh, with all the respect as a former statesman, man, that is something that I'm totally in disagreement with. I think he has his reasons why he thinks Jammeh should be allowed to return to this country, be accorded the respect. Just like Jawara was accorded the respect. One thing we know for Jawara, for sure, was that at least Jawara was a president who respected human rights in this country.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Is it not the
Hey, ñun we live through it. Jawara minister mi dañ daan jël yar di dóor ñi ci mbedd mi. You know, over 1,000 Gambians were killed in 1981. Oh yeah, my friend. Come on.
Just go ahead.
Are you kidding me? Take me to another level, buddy.
I'm not even taxaw ni la wax ne Jammeh respected human rights, economic and social rights.
Yes.
They will tell you these are human rights.
So these are governments is relative.
I'm coming. You see, man.
Yes.
There were rights violations that took place in this country. You said Jammeh run a government. Barrow is running a government. We are in a transition, and there are processes that we are going through. Due process will be followed. The TRRC is there. Some are saying that are we going to have TRRCs all the time? No. We have a TRRC that is doing a work. When they are done, we will know what to do. But right now, Mr. Sarr going to the president to even talk about Jammeh's return in this country. Why not? I mean, I'm not saying that he has no right. I'm not saying he has no right. That is a non-starter for now.
Who are you to say that?
That is, as far as I am concerned, it's a non-starter. I am a concerned citizen.
All right.
A Gambian for that matter. That is a non-starter for now.
For you.
Obviously for me, we are starting a process.
Yeah, because you know what? Because you are becoming a victim of your own belief. You're so hooked up to this concept that if you let it go, you might probably feel irrelevant. But we have to really yank this out of the system.
Uncle.
Oh yeah, my brother.
No, léegi fu mu nekk Essa léegi fu mu nekk nii time bi jeex na.
Yes,
and
thank you.
program was really interesting. Uncle, thank you very much for joining us. And I appreciate nañ dëgga no ñu joiné ci plateforme bi jàng nañ lu bëri ci wàllum security ak kaaraange.
And I'm sorry if I sound too bad.
No, it's okay. Of course.
It's your right. But anyway, Jammeh is a non-starter.
You know, sometimes I feel
léegi dama indi Americo Gomez. ¿Cómo estás?
Tudo bem.
Muy bien. Tu parles français, non?
Je parle français.
Tu parles français?
Yeah.
Moi aussi, je parle français.
Anglais,
Dis-moi,
and-
tu es là, tu es ici en Gambie. Tu es venu, you speak English, of course.
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. So let's switch to English then. So why are you here? That's my first question.
Use the mic.
Use the mic, please.
This is the first time here in Gambia because I live in Portugal and Jack Giss is a singer and his brother is a DJ. He spoke with me last year to come make a show here to people to know me because I never mind people listen my songs here. I never think that. And then he start to send me some videos. I said, wow, that is good. Man, they know my lyrics, they know my songs. I get one song, song in Manjako. Manjako di Kafure. He said, hey, look, they know the lyrics, everything. Okay, we prepared to do it last year, but it was coronavirus. And we changed the plan for this year to make it good.
So you're from Guinea-Bissau, right?
Yeah.
So are you a Manjago?
Manjago, yeah, original, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Tell me, are you impressed with what you're seeing in Gambia? Because I know very well that we're neighbors, of course. But then are you impressed with what you've seen in the Gambia since your arrival?
Yeah, since I arrived, I only see good things. And Gambia people, they're so friendly, they're so lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used to live with them back in the days, on the 90s in Germany, because I lived 12 years in Germany.
Okay.
And I live with many Gambians, but now I see the real Gambians. They're very cute.
Okay. Because of time, we don't have enough time. But tell us, what is the main purpose of your visit? What is the main purpose? The core.
It's a show.
Why you're visiting?
It's a show.
You have a concert.
Yeah, I get
when
concert
exactly?
Saturday, 22 May in Giss City.
Okay. So, but do you have any project that you would like to do in the Gambia?
Yeah, because we're gonna make Monday, because I come for a few days, but I like the things. I'm so happy, and we tomorrow after show Sunday we go to studio preparing a new song. I'm gonna sing some good things from Gambia and support the Gambia team to be qualified for Can 2021. Yeah.
Great. Look, I really love Guinea-Bissau, and I have my somehow mom who is Manjago.
Now you get
You know, I speak very good Manjago. I speak fluent Manjago by then. But look, you're welcome to the Gambia.
Thank you.
Thanks for having you on Giss Giss. Nene is our sister. She's the queen of this particular program. I mean, it's a well-known show, of course. I mean, welcome. And what is your last, probably, words that you would like to share with the viewers?
Yeah, people
those who would like to see your event tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, people to come there tomorrow because it's not going to be playback. It's going to be live show. And I'm ready for it. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, if someone wants to follow you, of course, because this is the first time. I know you're an international artist, well known, of course, outside. But then, can you tell us, how can I have access to your videos, songs? Is there any website that you have? Your Instagram,
I get
whatever?
YouTube. I mean, Guinea-Bissau. Men who get more followers in Facebook, Instagram. But was problem for me because some people come with bad comments and I closed that Facebook.
But do you
now
have website?
I get only page Facebook called Americo Gomez.
Is it Americo Gomez?
Americo Gomez.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you spell it? It's AMERICO, right?
Yeah.
And Gomez GOMEZ.
Z, no, S.
Oh, Z.
Yeah.
Okay. S.
Yes.
Oh, S.
Gomez,
Okay.
Yes.
Now, thank you very much for having you.
Yeah, thank you too.
Merci beaucoup. Je suis content.
Thank you very much.
No, but yeah, do you have something to say for the viewers? Let's say Giss Giss.
Maybe he can speak in Manjago a little. Can you guide her?
But do you have anything to just a small acapella sort of?
To sing one
song? Yeah.
Kalo, manchijarindi kureno, dasa kumbini, datena numundu biusibia, karama.
You know, but this is really nice because now, but is there any? Sorry for asking you this question. But is there any relation between Guinea-Bissau and then of East Africa? Because I know East Africa, Tanzania, to be more specific, they do have songs like this. You know Zuchu. Do you know Zuchu and Diamond, Diamond? Is there any relationship? No,
because
of this song is somehow Tanzanian a little bit.
worldwide today is everything is mixed. But our culture music is Lusophone, like Portuguese, like Angola, Cabo Verde, Mozambique, and it's different with the French country music.
I know.
And here you English country music, but me, I follow, I search what is good. What's good in my ear is good for you, is good for him, is good for everybody.
Okay, Amir,
it's what I do.
Perfect, thank you. Very good to have you on the show. Thank you very much. Be back next week, inshallah. Ñu ni leen beneen topic bu yitteel askan bi. Thank you very much, uncle. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you.
pour génne ngu réew ci loxo benn nit te jubluwaay bi mooy won ne fexe nag nit ñi moom réew mi ne nañu ànd ci xel ñu tabaxaat réew mi.
Tegabi Moy, you want to be humble and everything. Why you are not an ordinary minister in this cabinet? That's true. Because you are head of the UDP, you are like a father figure to most of the...
Mr. Saba, lolu moy sa gis-gis.
Lolu moy dega. It's the fact. Whether mom accept or not, lolu moy dega. So the point is, lu ñaw lakte moy. Nit ñi luñ fogg moy because of that prominence bi nga am. The baro def la dé consult or légui yow ya dé yobbu ay nit ci baro pour mu appoint le lolu moy lakte. Ndax li mo am.
President Adama dafa am mandate. Because Gambians choose. Ne na liggéey réew mi. Mu tànn ay nit ñu liggéey ak moom man ci ñooñ laa bokka maa ngi liggéey ak moom
ngaje ko ade mela ay mul ay tiñarol minke Gambia jang mul ka wole tan ka foko APRC fananda do tiñaro tole alle mu stade le sodo ka APRC ta kala image de da kotenge isaje fu gambenol kotenge si la pati ñina kotenge
yalon say you are putting me in a funny position mul ka fo do kam de ni fa de ko bita jahannam ni kala te ko kala
Assalamualaikum mbokk yi di seetaan li nga xam ne mooy gis-gis waxtaane si li nga xam ne rek mooy yóbbu dëkk bi kanam.
The Constitution provides President can declare a state of emergency in two circumstances. Now I believe Gambia la security is at risk for invasion. He has the right. Constitutional as it can last for 2 weeks.
yéen ñëpp gis ngeen ne dañu oote ne nañ ànd soppi nguur gi fi nekkoon loolu pexe la parti yi bokkuñu xalaat bokkuñu jubluwaay lii pexe la rek pour génne ngu réew ci loxo benn nit te jubluwaay bi mooy won ne fexe nag nit ñi moom réew mi ne nañu ànd ci xel ñu tabaxaat réew mi.
Tegabi Moy, you want to be humble and everything. Why you are not an ordinary minister in this cabinet? That's true. Because you are head of the UDP, you are like a father figure to most of the...
Mr. Saba, lolu moy sa gis-gis.
Lolu moy dega. It's the fact. Whether mom accept or not, lolu moy dega. So the point is, lu ñaw lakte moy. Nit ñi luñ fogg moy because of that prominence bi nga am. The baro def la dé consult or légui yow ya dé yobbu ay nit ci baro pour mu appoint le. Lolu moy lakte. Ndax li mo am.
President Adama dafa am mandate. Because Gambians choose. Ne na liggéey réew mi. Mu tànn ay nit ñu liggéey ak moom man ci ñooñ laa bokka maa ngi liggéey ak moom
ngaje ko ade mela ay mul ay tiñarol minke Gambia jang mul ka wole tan ka foko APRC fananda do tiñaro tole alle mu stade le sodo ka APRC ta kala image de da kotenge isaje fu gambenol kotenge si la pati ñina kotenge
yalon say you are putting me in a funny position mul ka fo do kam de ni fa de ko bita jahannam ni kala te ko kala
Assalamualaikum mbokk yi di seetaan li nga xam ne mooy gis-gis waxtaane si li nga xam ne rek mooy yóbbu dëkk bi kanam.
The Constitution provides President can declare a state of emergency in two circumstances. Now I believe Gambia la security is at risk for invasion. He has the right. Constitutional as it can last for 2 weeks.
yéen ñëpp gis ngeen ne dañu oote ne nañ ànd soppi nguur gi fi nekkoon loolu pexe la parti yi bokkuñu xalaat bokkuñu jubluwaay lii pexe la rek pour génne ngu réew ci loxo benn nit te jubluwaay bi mooy won ne fexe nag nit ñi moom réew mi ne nañu ànd ci xel ñu tabaxaat réew mi